The government was there when the encroaching was happening. And are we not aware, or are we not informed, that the Kenya Railways pays rent on those who build schools along the railway line? Those who build churches along the railway line? Are we not aware that they give you the go-ahead to go and build in those particular places? Now, therefore, the government is fully aware of the encroachment that is taking place, be it in Kibera or in any other government land.
In 2010, Kenya Railways Corporation, Ministry of Transport, Pamoja Trust, with the support from World Bank, started a project that would see the expansion of the Kenya-Uganda railway line that passes through Kibera and Mukuru slums. This would affect a number of people living and doing businesses along the lines. Though the project is viewed as a development in Kibera, Mukuru and Kenya as a whole. Four years down the line, the project is still underway, and a section of the pubs from Fort Jesus area smells a rat.
One, the pubs are complaining about the size of the units. Two, the pubs are complaining about enumeration, that it was not rigorous. They did not look into some key issues.
These, among others, have generated more heat in Kibera, a place that has for so long been associated with violence.
Who is a right pub? Right pub ni mtu aliyenumeratiwa kwa kuhesabiwa na Mungu akambariki, maybe ameenda Lavington, maybe Fort Jesus, kuna hawa watu wanaishi kwa mabati kwenye wanaishi estate. So right pub ni nani? Mwenye alinumeratiwa ama mwenye yuko kwa ile project area. Mwenye anakuja wakati wa eviction anapatikana pale. Huo ndio pub ama mwenye alinumeratiwa na akaenda.
They approached a local youth group, Langata Youth Network. The network then listened to all the grievances, then decided to bring the different parties together for dialogue. The first meeting was held at CHF offices in Westland by pubs themselves.
Before, house Cecilia walikuwa wamesema watakupatia ilikuwa 2 bed in the house for each and every person to be affected. Now, wakati wamekuja na plan baadaye wamechange without anybody's knowledge.
The second meeting was expected to include a representative from Pamoja Trust, who did not turn up.
There is no eviction before our rights are met.
In the third meeting, the pressure was so high that Veronica Koech of Pamoja Trust came to meet them.
We had been contracted and we submitted all our documents to the clients. Okay? So it's upon the pubs to request it from the government. Okay. Yeah. 2, the approved plans were done by an independent consultant who was not Pamoja Trust. So the same thing can as well be asked from the Kenya Railways. Our work was doing social mobilization during generation of RAP. And we couldn't generate RAP without enumeration and marking. So that's the work we did. In this phase, our role is to advise on the best way of implementing the RAP and also helping in looking at issues that may cause conflict.
It is good you've seen that Pamoja Trust is not part of this thing. I would ask through our communication channel, do not send them any communication from now. Don't go to REMU. What are you going to do to REMU? REMU has been constituted from this document. Yes. Therefore, REMU and Pamoja Trust are one and the same, and the same thing. Therefore, somebody sending you to Engineer Ngongo And I also know Engineer Ng'ong'o and Wallace are one and the same thing. Therefore, it means that side has been exhausted. Let me tell you part that does not know these things so well. Kenya Railway Corporation does not know what is going on the ground. They are not properly advised. World Bank, they've decided deliberately to remove World Bank out of the consultation.
Here was a joint meeting involving local segment leaders, Ngazi ya Chini, Railway Management Unit, Pamoja Trust, and Kenya Tuna Uwezo, who also acted as the mediators.
Project affected persons are here for to request some answers on the following issues.
Yes.
First, issues that maybe you've been sent, and we also still will repeat in this meeting. The grievance document, the project affected persons to answer 4 areas. One that we need your clarification. These areas will come to the following. One is on PAP relocation and compensation.
Number one.
Number one. Tumekubaliana?
Yes.
Number 2 will be on socioeconomic survey and enumeration. Number 3 will be on leadership and accountability. And number 4 will be on grievance resolution.
Wallace, who is the chairman of Ngazi ya Chini, was put to task as to why some things were happening the wrong way in his presence.
Who are these people that you are calling multi-segment? Who chose them? And then why are they there even when there's corruption in there? Therefore, do not call multi-segment. I cannot go to, in a court of hens, a cockroach can never win a case. Yes. You are lunch. What you see? You can never win a case in a court of chicken. Therefore, first of all, we don't know those multi-segments you are speaking about. And even if they are there, you cannot have a mandate of 30 years and you are chosen by the people. Come back and ask, is my mandate still valid? Therefore, I cannot go that you vet my name and you are a cartel receiving between 70 to 40,000. You are a cartel.
Engineer Ng'ong'o of Remu, on his speech, blamed the PAPs for not being involved in the process. He requested to be given 2 months to bring back the feedback on the raised concerns.
And before answering you, maybe I should ask you where you are. How do I handle it? I will supervise the resolution of that problem, but only if you initiate it.
In 2010, you received a document here. You and Jane Weru. 2010, it was on 20th August 2010. You received a complaint from PAPs. Therefore, we are not people who are just coming with this complaint in 2014. This complaint have only grew. They were there in 20. If somebody wants this, you'll get a copy.
It's signed by Engineer Ng'ong'o.
It's signed by Engineer Ng'ong'o.
I think for the Kenya Railways, 2 months is important because the decisions that will be made will be binding. But I want to suggest that a meeting with Pamoja Trust and where Wallace will be. I'm talking now as mediator, the mediators that you invited as mediators, didn't you? And I want us to ask if it is possible with Pamoja Trust and Ngazi ya Chini that we can meet even towards the end of this month to discuss. Some of these things you are bringing are supposed to be agenda. They are not supposed to be really way forward. For example, when you're talking about, can we consider reviewing what is workable? You know, those are things now that we bring on table with him and Pamoja Trust.
Pamoja Trust Director was also met separately to clarify a certain issues. Dr. Stephen Ouma had time to explain himself.
So when you come to hold us accountable, I feel very happy because then it is asking the question, are we paying attention to our core parts? But it is true, we have been facing a problem with the register. We had to reconstruct part of it. So we took our staff members to go to the railway headquarters to look at the primary documents.
The PAPs made it clear that they were not out to stop the government project, but just wanted things to go the right way as per the RAP document.
I'm very sure Ngazi ya Chini and Kenya Railways are the people who have the problem. But we really support the project. Na tungependa project iendelee, but iangaliliwe kwa uangalifu.
Kwangu kuna wale walikuwa kwa nyumba, sasa hawako. Even my children zote walikuwa wakubwa, sasa wanaishi kwa hizo nyumba. Okay, wakati utahamisha watu, ndio kuja kwangu, wataenda wapi? Wataenda wapi? So tuambie ukweli, na tukwambie ukweli tukubali na wewe. Hatukupingi wala mradi.
Na kuna vitu zingine ambao nimefungwa mkono. Siwezi nikaenda beyond. Juu hata nikisema sahihi, wewe ambaye uko kwa hiyo nyumba unaenda kuchukuliwa uwekwe pale kwa nyumba. Na hawa hawajadhibitisha. Nitakuwa nakupeleka mali? Hakuna pale nitakuwa.
Wallace, as the CEO for Ngazi ya Chini, his main work was representation of the pubs. He has so deviated from representing pubs to representing Kenya Railways.
And they decided to engage the area MP, Honorable Ken Okoth.
On Monday, people came and demolished houses in Kibera. You need to know about it. You do not act. Ken Okoth. I do not understand how people can come to your constituency without your knowledge and do something like that, and you have not done anything. Ask these women, have you received anything, any compensation, anything? No, and you as the MP. I don't understand how you can be getting salary every single month on my name and everyone here, and you say you do not know anything about it. I'm actually very, very disappointed at you. And I wrote on Facebook and I tagged you and I told you, if you do not tackle this matter and replace those 10 people who are put outside, I will be responsible for your political failure. And this I'm saying, because you cannot put people outside and call yourself a politician, go to parliament being called the MP of Kibera. How do you accept that?
What is happening is, from every story has got three sides. There's this side where somebody anasema, oh, tunajua who demolished our things. Ukiuliza in whose capacity or on whose behalf was it demolished. Kenya Railways and World Bank say, sisi hatuja demolish chochote. Young haven't given me an answer, but I have pictures and evidence, and Dan gave me and I received yesterday copies, which they have even Kenya Railways now. I made a copy of everyone who level list. Kama ulipoteza 10 chairs, kuna mtu alikuwa sijapoteza 30 plastic chairs. So you people who are affected, you're here.
Stella Kemuto, who was pregnant, found herself in the mess when her house was demolished and had to spend the night in the cold, despite the court order stopping any form of demolition.
Nyumba zangu peke yangu zilikuwa 8. Pamoja na tenants wangu, vitu zao ziliharibiwa mingi sana. Hizo ni nyumba zangu zote, huwa zinanilipia loan ya cooperative na Kenya Women. Juu nilijenga na loan. Sasa hiyo ndio inanilipia.
Sasa hizi unalala watu unafanya aje?
Sasa penye nalala ni shule penye tulisaidiwa. Kuna shule ilikuwa hapo next ndio tulihamia. Sasa tunalala watu 10 kwa hiyo nyumba.
One person was arrested, though the damage was already done. The MP's office then offered some mattresses with blankets to help them a bit in the cold. On the map produced by Map Kibera, we looked at the areas that will be affected by the railway line.
I'm saying that it started from this, from Jesus Christ, the garages. But now I want to know from this side complaining. But it originated from here.
Kenya Railway, Pamoja Trust, Ngazi ya Chini then also decided to call for a meeting, claiming that those who have been complaining so much were not the real pups. They mobilized people that they referred to as the real pups and asked them to be on the high alert and not to let any group of people spoil their opportunities of acquiring the new built houses.
Kama ulikuja nyuma ya 2010, jipange. Anza kutoa mabati yako. Wacha kusumbua watu hapa bure. Na nataka tena niwaongezee. Saa hii naangusha park sasa. Naona wamelala. Hii pesa ikirudi tumekosa project. Tuko pamoja? Kuna wenzetu ndio wamejificha huko nyuma, nataka wakuje mbele. Wale wa Lang'ata, Lang'ata. Watu ya Lang'ata Youth Network watoke, kujeni hapa mbele kwa sababu tunataka tuwajue. Sina nayo. And then perhaps walide wa perhaps leader pia kuja hapa mbele. Pia tumtambue. Sina nayo. Wako Lang'ata Youth Network wako. Wako. Unaona propaganda. Sasa leo Ulikuwa unataka propaganda itoke wapi? Mbona wametoroka? Hao ndio paps wako hapa. Original paps. Wacha hii paps baadaye.
Surprisingly, some of the pups from Fort Jesus who had been complaining so much against the project crossed over to support it.
Nimerudi kwa nyinyi, nitafanya hizo mambo, wale nitakubali ukuje watu wasumuze. Mradi tu support ile mambo ya code i-withdraw, nikubali kufanya. Lakini ndio mambo nimekuomba msamaha, nimekujua kitambo kwa na andiko semeji yangu kwa railway, hata ndio nilipatia nguvu. So nimesupport nyinyi, niko na nyinyi kwa wote. Okay, wakati utahamisha watu, unaweza kuja kwangu, wataenda wapi? Wataenda wapi?
What a shift turn. We took Wallace to the site to show us the buildings and dig out for more information.
Hapa kuna tap ya maji. Sasa wewe ukitaka kuoga unatumia hii. Hapa kuna sink, ukiamka asubuhi unakuja nao kwa uso hapa. Na hii ndio choo yetu. Ambayo mimi nafurahia sana kwa sababu when I come and sit here like this, I'll be very happy and comfortable. I can even read. Yeah. Okay, niko comfortable.
It came into our attention that whatever is going is not correct. And sooner or later, people are going to start smarting themselves. Why? It touches on people's lives. And these people feel that their rights are not protected. And in any way of infringing someone's rights, what comes out is war.
Wallace, could you please respond to the complaints?
Hizi ni propaganda. Hapa ukiangalia hapa ndani unaona kuna choo, tena ni choo ya kukalia. Unaweza soma gazeti kama umekaa juu. Tuko na sink na bathroom ambayo ni ya mtu. Sasa hii tumetoka kwa mambo ya flying toilets. Sasa tunaenda digital. Na hii ndio nyumba tunasema digital sasa. Whereby tumetoka kwa nyumba ya makaratasi na mabati, tumeingia kwa nyumba ya mawe. Nyumba zile tunakaa ni ndogo zaidi ya hizi nyumba ambazo sasa tunapata. Kwa hivyo hizi nyumba mtu moja, nyumba moja.
But the question now is the size of the unit. Now I want to tell you that you might have everything that you wanted, but not in the correct measure of how you wanted.
Heri upate ile kidogo kuliko kukosa.
Kenen team then took an initiative to dig out for more information.
Mimi ni pub number 482. Nafanya hapa biashara ya hoteli. Waliniambia watanipatia nyumba ya biashara na ya kuishi. Nyumba nayo ni sawa, isipokuwa nyumba ya biashara ndio naona ni ndogo, haitatosha vile naona nikifanya biashara haitanitosha, ni ndogo.
Niko na nyumba mlango huu na mlango huo na biashara zile ziko pale mbele. Sasa wakati nitakapohamishwa hapa, kulingana na vile ripoti ile tumepokea, ni kwamba ukiwa na nyumba 10, rumu ni moja. Katika hii mjengo ambayo inajengwa, kuna biashara na kuna nyumba. Kati ya hizo vitu mbili, nikipata nyumba na nipate biashara, ndaridhika. Jambo lile ningependa kuongezea ni kwamba tuwe na uwazi. Isije ifika hapo mbele iwe ni ingine kuliko yale tuliahidiwa.
Kwa hii project upande wetu ya magarages that affect kwa upande wa kama saizi mimi niko na trainees karibu 8. Sasa mahali nitaenda nao siwezi jua nitawapeleka wapi. Kwa tunaonelea ingekuwa mzuri, tungepatiwa nafasi ingine, hata kama badala kujenga hizo nyumba tuwekewe fence ya block ya ili kuprotect upande wa railway na upande wa kufanya kazi tuachiwe.
We then took a walk to the decanting site just to find out how people were faring on there and if they were comfortable.
Vile tuliamisha tukikuja hapa, tumepata mazuri, tumekaa mahali pasafi, tuko na macho sasa hatuteseki, magonjwa hakuna kwa sisi, sasa matukano kwa watu tena hakuna. Sasa vile tumeingia hapa, tumeingia mahali pasafi. Hizo manyumba tumeshaenda kutembea huko, ni manyumba zingine mzuri sana. Mpaka tumekaa, tutakuwa tunakaa huko kama watu wazungu.
Nilikuwa nakaa Crisco, but sikuwa nakaa palipapoa. Nilikuwa nakaa penye mtaro imepita hivi, maji ya sewage imepita hivi, inaniingilia mpaka kwa nyumba. Sasa zingine nakosa kulala, nikitoka nikirudi napata maji imejaa kwa nyumba. Hata mtoto sasa zingine halali vizuri. Nyumba naye itamaliza 2 weeks kama haijakauka. Juu maji imejaa. Hata kukula ni shida. Utapika aje juu stove iko na maji, mafuta iko na maji. Lakini tangu nikuja hapa, hata nikitoka sina wasiwasi. Juu najua vyombo itakuwa sawa. Hata penye mtoto analala itakuwa sawa.
We talked to some schools along the railway line to see how prepared they were for all this.
Okay, so far the church where the kids are, I'm renting. It's a rental place. And so far what I've heard, they're giving each and every tenant 1 room. So we are wondering if maybe the church is given 1 room, where will the kids go to?
Hapo ningependa kusema namna hii, tumekubaliana katika hizi nyumba, kwa sababu hizi nyumba ni 4.5 by 4. Sasa tunataka ifanywe ikuwe ni 4 by 8. Room mbili itakuwa imeunganishwa pamoja. Hiyo ndio itakuwa inafanya biashara kama for example churches wanaweza tumia room mbili kama church. Tuko na baby care. Hao pia tutawa incorporate kwa hizo room mbili.
If they give us 2 rooms, I'll be okay with that. I'll appreciate. At least the kids will have somewhere to learn and to sleep for the day. And even me, I stay next. I'm a mother of 6 with my 6 children. And we've been told my landlord will be given 1 room. So I also wonder where I'll go, where I'll take my kids and my belongings when it starts. I look for somewhere to go if I don't have a room yet, because life has to go on. Yeah. Once the kids are settled, I'll also look for somewhere to go to settle myself. My wish is that I'm also given a room.
Being evicted for me, it is quite difficult because we don't have the finance to relocate the school, and most of the children come around here, so we don't know where we are going to relocate, so it's going to be a big problem for us.
Primary school, standard 1 mpaka 8, au tunawa incorporate to the government schools. Kwa sababu space ile ambayo tuko naye iwezi tosha playground.
Some of the schools, like in Kibera, we have Ayani Primary, we have Olympic, just to mention but a few. Now, I don't see this as a way of solving the problem, but creating another problem. If the city council is grappling with the idea of building more classes, that would mean there is overcrowding in those particular areas. Now what if you do another infill to these particular schools? Where are you going to get the teachers to teach these particular students? If within the RAP there is no mutual or there is no partnership between Kenya Railways and Teacher Service Commission that will really make it proper for the students to join those particular schools because they're going to have teachers. We know that teacher-student ratio is a problem. And it's not just a problem, it is a big problem. And World Bank is a very good advocate of change, very good advocate of education. It even does some bursaries for students. They would have built schools, improved them better than what they are. In fact, they would have thought of a better management for these particular schools.
Most of the data was tampered with in such a way that some of the names of the indigenous, the ones who wore the structures and the houses and the garages, were not appearing anywhere. Some are being indicated blank in such a way that even if you try to follow the data, you cannot allocate you yourself, your name or your neighbor.
Hizo nyumba hizo majina zinabadilishwa, si kubadilisha tu kwa sababu watu wanabadilisha. Kuna wale ambao walienda wakajimpose kwa nyumba ya wenyewe. Wenyewe wamekama hapo na ndio tunaifuatilia. Tukikuta ya kwamba wewe uliweka jina yako pale na wewe si mwenye hiyo nyumba, tunabadilisha, tunaweka jina ya mwenye nyumba.
If you go to the operations policy for World Bank, it states that whether the person is living there legally or illegally, he has got the right to be compensated. Underline the word right.
We had to go back to Wallace to explain to us why they intended to build 9,000 units while the number of enumerated pubs were only 5,000. Why the extra 4,000?
Okay. Is it matching with the number of pubs enumerated?
Yeah.
Are you going to have more or less?
We are going to have more.
And what will you do with the extra?
The extra, you see, when we were doing the enumeration, there's that number which we covered. And then for the miscellaneous, we also have to leave some. Yes, because there are some areas whereby you will find that there are houses which are going to be removed and they were not enumerated. Yet they were there in the map.
What can you say you have achieved so far, George?
I just have to admit that it has been hard. At times, we also give them applause because they have also cooperated in some areas. Were it not because of their cooperation, we would have not gone the far we are today.
Kibera, a place that has for so long been known to be violent. This time round, they've decided to solve this matter amicably by involving all the relevant stakeholders through dialogue. The contractor is continuing to build the new houses. The court has given an injunction to stop any form of eviction or relocation until this matter is solved. In a court of hen, no cockroach can have a right. Well, it's only a matter of time until we see this narrative change. Owino Joshua for KNN in Kibera. Watch out for part 2 of the railway story where the in-depth truth shall prevail. You don't wanna miss it.